Good evening, everyone. So it's been a while since I've been on, and I've knew that I needed to share with you my story because my story is who I am. It's what's brought me here to this point in my life where I know that being a career wellness coach, a personal development and growth coach, someone who is passionate about what I'm doing. I need to share my story with you and let you know where I got here. So with that being said, I mean, we've all been through some ups and downs. We've all had hard times. We've all been through some really painful experiences. And I am just like you. I've been through those painful moments that have left me feeling, down and out, seriously down and out. And so I can honestly say that the two most pivotal moments of my life started when I was 4 years old. When I was 4 years old, I can remember my mom bringing me into her bedroom and she taking me by the hand and looking at me in the eyes and she said, "Honey, I need you to know something. I need you to know that this daddy's not your real dad. Someone else is, but this dad wants to adopt you." Well, what my 4-year-old mind heard at the time was that I've been rejected, I'm not loved, so if I am really good and try to do the right thing, then he'll come back and want to be part of my life, and everything will be fine. Another pivotal moment at 4 years of age, just such a critical age, I can remember going to a local store in Phoenix, and we'd gone to the bakery area, and the woman behind the counter, she says, "Oh, would you like to have a cookie?" And my mom said, "Sure, she can have a cookie." So she gives me a cookie, and I said, "Thank you so much." She looks at my mom and she says, "Oh my gosh, I've never heard a little girl that young say thank you before." And in my 4-year-old mind, what I heard was, "Oh, okay. So if I'm thankful and grateful, then I'll be liked, loved, and accepted. And if I do those things, then I'll be able to have what I want in life." So those were the moments that really shaped how I went through life. Some people become high achievers. Some people go into addictions. Some people, they do different things. But for me, it was like, okay, this is how I went through life. So I tried really hard to be kind and to be good and to be grateful, hoping that I would be liked, loved, and accepted. And so that's how I went through life. And I can remember being 33 years old and finally landing the job of my dreams. I'd been in the travel industry for a while, and oh my gosh, I was so excited. I was living the five-star superstar lifestyle is what it felt like. I was traveling the globe. I had the opportunity of being manager of training and development for a software company. And our clients were international airline carriers. So I had the opportunity of staying in five-star hotels. I ate at five-star restaurants. I flew first class, which I have to say is rocking awesome. I had my own expense account. I mean, I was traveling to places all over the world that I had only dreamed about. And for 5 years, I did this, and I was just in heaven. Well, this one day I go out to the mailbox and I get two checks. I'm like, why do I have two checks here? Because the beauty of it is I was still able to work from home. I had a virtual office, and I would go to our home office in Florida, once every 5 to 6 weeks, something like that. And so I call up my VP and I'm like, why do I have two checks here? And he's like, "Oh, Kaylin, I'm so sorry you had to find out about it this way, but we've decided to downsize your department, and so we've let everyone go, and we have no longer needs of your services. Thank you so much." And he says, "And if you take a look, you'll notice that one of those checks is a severance." Sure enough. Now, mind you, this was in 2001, May of 2001. What happened September 11th of that year? Completely rocked the United States to the core, and the world to the core. Travel was not an option at this point. So now I cannot find any work in the travel industry, and it's really the only thing that I knew and I enjoyed. So out of desperation to care for my family, what I did is I had a friend say, "Hey, Kaylin, why don't you come and work for me because I need some help?" And she was a manager of a fast food restaurant. So I'm like, sure, why not? Okay. So I go and I gear up in my, great uniform and I'm working the lunch shift. And what am I doing? I am delivering sandwiches to my previous employers. Now, if that's not a fun time and a most humbling experience that can really bring you down, I don't know what is. Depression, weight gain, all kinds of things happened. It was really, really hard. Well, then I had a friend and he says, hey, I am going out of town for a couple of weeks and would love to know if you would substitute my class for me. And I was taking all kinds of odds and end jobs. I was working for my girlfriend who had a cleaning company. I was doing anything I could to generate income to bring into our home. And so he was a religious instructor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. So for 2 weeks, I had the opportunity of teaching his religion classes, and I thought, oh my gosh, I found my home. This is where I want to be. This is one of my passions as a faithful and religious individual and a spiritual person. I'm like, this clicks. This is like a match made in heaven, literally, right? So I enjoy this process. I go through and I teach and substitute. And I'm like, well, I'm going to apply for the program. So for 3 years, I got myself all ready to go. I took all the religion classes I needed to. I prepared myself spiritually. I got myself in physical shape. I did all of these things to be prepared to teach. The year that I qualified to be able to go into the program was the year that my husband lost his job in northern Utah where we were living. And at that time, no one was taking a look at him in the Utah area. And so we decided, since my family had moved to the Midwest, that we'd take a look there. Well, my husband came out, got a job, never came back to Utah. And I went and I told my director, I said, so this is what's happened. We've decided that we're going to move to the Midwest. And he goes, Kaylin, you have me between a rock and a hard spot. He says, I have to tell you unequivocally that you would be hired on as a religious instructor if you were to be staying here. However, where you're moving to, there is only one position, one paid position, and it's already taken. I'm so sorry, but we can't do anything. We can't hire you. I left there now hearing that God has rejected me. And little did I know that that was going to set a path, a spiral downward, that would rock my world to the core. So to try and fill this void, I move out here to the Midwest with my family, and I go into the education field thinking that that's going to be something that's going to fill my heart and soul, and I take a look at all different types of programs and all of these things. Well, I start having anxiety attacks really bad. And it gets so bad that I can't work. And for 18 months, I'm on disability because I'm diagnosed with general anxiety disorder and I cannot function. I can't function. I can't do anything. I mean, driving was just like not a good thing. I just couldn't function. And it was then that the depression sets in. I start gaining weight from the medications. And then I start going into body hating, body bullying, and body loathing. And it was a dark, dark moment, really a dark moment. And I can remember going to an event. It was a conference. And I knew that I needed to go to this one specific class. And the class was called Having a Christ-Centered Body Image. And as I'm there, the woman gets up to start speaking, and she says, have you ever walked into your house before? And you're like, my goodness, it's so dark in here, only to walk past a mirror and realize that you've got sunglasses on? She's like, but when you take those sunglasses off, she says, then you're able to see things clearly and as they really are. She says, that's exactly what happens with us and our body image. When we take off those glasses, because how we're looking at ourselves is how the entire world wants us to look at ourselves. To be this stick figure model on a magazine walking down a runway that's got anorexia or bulimia or some other kind of eating disorder. And that is not who we are. When we start getting into body bullying, body hating, body worshiping, what happens is we get on those extremes, those are so distorted that we don't even know what's going on. But when we come here in the middle and we focus on having a Christ-centered body image and looking at ourselves the way that the heavens, the universe, our higher power, Christ, God, whoever you call it, looks at you, then you know who you are and you know whose you are. And then what happens is you look at this body and you realize it is amazing. It is the most beautiful thing that we experience, and we walk around with it every single day. I mean, this is phenomenal. It helps us be able to accomplish our passion, our love, our desire. We're able to communicate. We're able to have relationships. We're able to have intimacy. Oh my gosh. It is phenomenal. We don't even have to think about, look at this hand. You see that? It does it all on its own. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just doing it. Wow. It is amazing to me. When I realized that, I felt like I had 5,000 pounds just be lifted off of me. And that is when I started to make the shift of me falling in love with who I am. Totally, 100%, totally in love with me. Well, I'll tell you what, as time has gone on, I've discovered that everything that I've looked back, as I look back on my life, every trial, every challenge, every weight gain, up and down, holy cow, who hasn't been there? Every weight gain, depression, anxiety, everything that I have gone through have been my greatest gifts. They have made me who I am today, and they are treasures. And I would not ever give any of them up for anything else. And for that, I am extremely grateful for. Because I am who I am because of my life experiences. You are who you are because of your life experiences. And what it comes down to is we are our greatest gift. We are our greatest adventure, because I have no idea what I'm going to do next, but I can tell you what, it's going to be awesome, whatever it is, because I'm awesome. And I know I'm awesome, and I know you're awesome. We are amazing individuals. So I'm telling you right now, this is why I'm here. This is my passion. This is my love. But I wanted to share my story with you so you know where I'm coming from, because it's my heart. I am hoping and hope all of you have a beautiful holiday season, a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. Just love it, enjoy it, and love you through it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk with you soon. Happy holidays, everyone.